Hello and welcome to the Peak Millennials podcast. I'm Collins.
And I'm Natalie.
Each week we will delve deep into various peak millennials, what we remember.
And what we want to forget.
And reading some captivating stories that will invoke a sense of deja vu in all of us.
This is the age before iPhones and the social media that we know today.
This is where a good mixed CD, silver eyeshadow, and MTV raised us.
So crack open that Jones soda.
Kick off your black Converse.
And let's teleport back to the world of peak millennials.
I don't know what's going on with the internet right now.
I don't know. My bangs are doing something. These bangs, though, I think that they're just the topic.
I think bangs are the topic. Send in your stories to peakmillennialspod@gmail.com. Go over to our Instagram, peakmillennialspod. I put up some things this week, and as did you. Make sure you're sharing, subscribing, and hopefully the internet will not be rude to us right now, because it just started blipping out on me. But hi, Natalie. How are you?
Hello, Collins. Hello. What is going on? I'm so sorry. It's just not my day today.
The show, if you can't see by our background here, if you are on YouTube, we're talking about peak 2016 because somebody said 2026 is the new 2016. And I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if I agree with that or not.
We decided to do our makeup and looks based off of who we were in 2016. So I have not worn this much makeup probably since 2016.
I think for me it was my eyebrows. I have not done my eyebrows this intensely in at least 10 years. And I was like, from here, I'm like, oh, look at those eyebrows. Like, girlfriend, you got some eyebrows. Because I loved freaking dip brow.
I loved a dip brow too.
I loved a good prominent eyebrow.
I recently threw out my dip brow because it was from probably 2016, 2017. Because I also do this thing where if I like it, I'm going to buy multiples of it because the last thing I want is for it to go out. So I would always have like a car one or a backpack one or a purse one. Like a purse one. And then like one in my my makeup kit, so to speak. And I used eyeshadow. Let me tell you.
Eyeshadow. Yep, I did eyeshadow.
I was showing the brush. I think my dog's got a hold of this brush. I think this brush should be retired. This was crusty, so I had to like wash it too. Ew! Oh, it is literally falling apart in my hand. Look at that point. Like that is
sharp.
I don't even know where I got this brush.
Brow. I think I did, and I haven't done like contour. I did contour, like mind you, it's not that great. It's pretty bad. Like it was a pretty bad contour, but we're not going to talk about that.
But none of us were blending.
No. There was like a stark highlight here, contour. It was just it was very harsh. But we took a week off. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
So I went to FatCon over here in Seattle. It's a convention for really body positivity, not really just body positivity, but like living in a fat body and the that it is to exist in a fat body. And as we drift into the Ozempic, heroin chic kind of thin, because thin has always been in.
It's
It always
always
has
been a
been in.
thing, yes.
But companies are starting to get more conservative, which means less options for people in bigger bodies, less options for people who don't fit the standard. And really, the entire weekend was really about like celebrating the body you have now, not like not in the way that like people think like, oh, just like not trying. No, this was like a liberation. There was a movement class where it was like how to like move your body in even in exercise, of how you can do it safely and know how to trust your body, know the way that it feels. I really loved like some of the workshops were like how to pose, like if you want to like pose in pictures,
Yeah.
how to feel the most confident. And I don't know, I've never been to a convention like that, let alone I volunteered at one. So it was really eye-opening to be around that many people. And so many people came from not here. So they were coming from
Wow.
California, Chicago. Apparently there's a fat convention, like the sister convention that's in Philadelphia. So people were also coming from there. So it was just really cool. It was sponsored by Big Fig Mattress, which I'm sure you've seen the ads for Big Fig mattresses.
Yeah.
There are other like consignment, local consignments that were sponsors that I'd like to go to their shops because they are just for plus size clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love secondhand shopping, but I hate secondhand shopping because I have a very specific kind of body type and I know how to dress my body type and what I feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, places like Goodwill aren't very accessible to people. They don't keep a good stock. They keep a lot of just whatever they get and whatever they can sell. And the shop is called Two Big Blondes.
Two Big Blondes. Yeah. When I worked at Torrid, there was a girl who used to shop there all the time and used to like work there. And so she would occasionally like come into the shop and see, like obviously like shop and stuff, but they would shop a lot of like the clearance because like they knew that they could put it at a better, I mean, like they could resell it and do it in a way that was a little like not so that the clothes wouldn't just go to like a landfill. They would just end up reselling, and that was kind of cool. I always wanted to go, but like I am driving in Seattle is not my favorite thing.
Yeah, I don't like driving in Seattle either.
So going to Seattle is not my favorite thing.
But yeah, I do also think that it is something to say of like accessibility, like for box stores is really difficult for people of all different lifestyles and stuff. It's not just people who are able to like take public transportation or a parking lot, or what if they can't drive? What if they aren't accessible, like wheelchair, or maybe they have a different kind of walking assistance. Maybe they're anxious like me. They don't want to park downtown. Like, it is a whole thing. So I want to go, but I don't want to go alone. So that's something that we can do.
I'm down for that. What did we do? I think that next year we should really go together. I think it'd be really fun.
I think so too.
What did we do last week? I don't think that we really.
Well, you went to the concert, right?
Oh yeah, so we went and saw Twice. If any of our listeners are curious, Twice is a K-pop girl group who I absolutely adore, and my youngest really loves also. And we had a really, really good time. Oh, that's what we did. We had a family day. So my youngest and my oldest, their birthdays are really close. They're obviously like many years apart, but their date wise is their birthdays are only a week apart from each other. And January marks their half birthday, both of their half birthdays. So we went to I went out and I took my oldest out shopping on Sunday morning. We went shopping at Torrid. We went and got some stuff. And what did we do? Oh, and then in the afternoon, we ended up going to this place in Bellevue, close to like Crossroads Mall.
Okay.
And it's called Lucky Claw. And it's just this little shop, and it's a claw machine place.
Oh my God.
So they have like, I don't know how many, I think that maybe like 10 or so claw machines. And obviously you just like get your coins and you go in and you like do your claw machine. And then after that, you can either keep all the stuff that you got, or you can they count it. It's like points, whatever. And they count how many stuffed animals you get, and you can trade them in for like blind boxes or like bigger stuffed animals or whatever. Excuse me. And we ended up all getting, we kept a couple and then we traded in the rest, and we all got like little blind boxes. I got like a little,
I love it.
Pom Pom Purin, like Sanrio. He's just like this little sitter. He's so cute. And then we ended up going to Pop Mart and in Bellevue Square, and went to Pop Mart, and we all got a couple of little blind boxes, and then came home and we opened them all, and it was a really good time. My youngest got her like, we like Labubus in the fact of like we think that they're silly.
Right.
But she really wanted one for her backpack, so she ended up getting this really like cute mini like blue one, and I got this it's not a Labubu, it's a different brand, but it looks like a little Christmas tree, and it's going to be so cute for when we go to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show next month, and I'm going to put it on my bag. That's going to be cute. But drama about this Labubu.
Okay.
So put it on my kid's backpack. Obviously, she goes to kindergarten. She goes to school. And all week she had been saying that like one of her friends really wanted her Labubu. She was like, we could go to the store and buy her a Labubu. Buy her this Labubu. You could buy her a Labubu. And I was like, girlfriend, like her parents can buy her a Labubu.
Yeah.
We don't need to give her ours, and we don't need to buy her, maybe for her birthday, we can buy her a prize. Right. And I dropped her off on Friday, and I'm like walking out of her school, and her little friend is walking into the school, and attached to her belt loop is the same color mini little Labubu that is now missing off of my daughter's backpack. Mind you, I'm going to preface this with I'm not accusing this little 5-year-old of like
I will accuse this kid.
But when I asked like my kid about it, I was like, hey, did you like lend it to your friend? Like, because I know that you had said that she wanted it. She was like, no. She's like, it's, and I was like, it was on your backpack, but now it's not on your backpack. And mind you, I will preface this that if you know like blind box situations,
right,
the likelihood that you're going to have the same thing with someone else is not super common, especially in the Labubu world. So I did what any parent would do, and I messaged her teacher, and I was like, hey, would you mind looking into this? Because it's kind of a coincidence, and I don't want to accuse, but I am suspicious that things just went missing off of a little kid's backpack. And at the end of the day, I know that it's a keychain, and I know that we talked about like Tamagotchis going missing at schools. But from a morality standpoint, if you want something, you shouldn't just take it off of someone's back. So we'll come back to this probably next week. I'll have an update.
I am too stunned to speak because the audacity of that little girl, like being so obvious, you know what I mean? Like being like, I like your look.
It was on her freaking belt loop. Like she was walking around, and then when we were leaving, okay, so like, I'm not trying to start drama because this is crazy.
Yeah.
But like when I picked her up yesterday, when I picked her up on Friday from school, I was like, oh my gosh, look, Bella got a Labubu. That's so crazy. And Brinley, my daughter was like, I don't know, whatever. She was like, oh, where did you get your Labubu from? And the little girl's like, my mom got it from a store somewhere. And I was like, somewhere, child.
Somewhere.
But anyways, I don't have all the details, but I just know that it is very odd that she also has the same color, same series as a collector of little knickknacks. I know that it's not.
And of course, the teacher probably like hit you with they shouldn't bringing the things from home, blah blah blah. Like if you can't risk losing it.
I'm thankful she didn't say that because I would have sent her back a message. No, she said that she was going to look into it, but like it's what 3:30 on a Friday. Like she's probably saying like I'm tired of thinking about 5-year-old drama, and that's fine. But anywho,
I'm into it. I'm very invested, and I'm gonna ask you about it next week because and then funny story here. I'll show a picture. Let's see if it comes through. I got this Labubu, and it looks like a freaking tempura shrimp. This is the missing one in question, by the way. But my tempura shrimp is my. I love that little tempura shrimp. I love it so much.
And I can put my headphones in it. So like done. Anywho, would you like to talk about 2016?
I would love to talk about 2016. 2016, 10 years ago. It's crazy. So like you're mentioning this little boo-boo story, and I'm like, wow, how our lives have like moved in the last 10 years. Because 2016, I was still writing fan fiction on Tumblr. All of the cool like fandom websites were like, fuck yeah, you know, whatever, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which was also, I was obsessed with that guy because it was like the 100 Days of Summer or whatever that movie was.
All I wanted to be, 500
days of summer. Because all I wanted to be was Jessica Day from New Girl.
You wanted to be a manic pixie girl?
I did want to be a manic pixie girl. So the way I styled my hair was today is very manic pixie girl. How I still think I probably could have round brushed my bangs a little bit better. But
yeah,
that was like my yearning aspect. It was also the year that I was dating a very emotionally abusive guy. So a lot of my brain was still like men centered. So a lot of my things that I liked in 2016, I feel nostalgic for who I am now to like the things in 2016 with the brain that I have now instead of being so like man centered.
Yeah.
But I do remember the things that I did like. YouTube. I was watching YouTube like I was watching TV. I didn't have a television that in the way that we used to have television where we had like internet cable providers. Like I had a laptop and I had YouTube and somebody else's Netflix login. It was a year though that I started jumping back. Well, the year prior, I guess, is the year that I started jumping back into watching wrestling again. So like the Bella Twins were like they were winding down their careers. So it was a lot of like their big matches, really pushing people, watching something called NXT, which is where a lot of the younger talent went to like a developmental brand. So I was watching more of those kinds of matches. But a lot of the media that I consumed was YouTube and like watching beauty tutorials from people. And the year prior, I had just left beauty school because my mom had a stroke. So I moved back to Washington State at that time. And I was convinced I was a makeup artist. And I did do a couple wedding makeup, which I think I did a really great job. Looking at it now, I think it holds the hands of time. I'm very immature. I'm not like a MAC makeup artist, but I was convinced.
If it makes you feel any better, I also thought you were a makeup artist. And I would look at your content and I would like, damn. And at the time you were still going by Colleen, and I was just like, wow, Colleen's makeup is so beautiful. Like, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I think that you've always been very talented. Like art wise, you've always been very talented. So like,
I'm a very art kind of forward person. That's where I like to express myself. But yeah, it was the year that nobody blended their eyeshadow. Nobody blended their contour. We just learned that we could put makeup on our necks. I was using like body glitter for the first time. I was it got everywhere. And it's one of those things that once you get body glitter like stuck in like a nylon kind of shirt or like a spandex, it's never coming out.
It's never coming out. I think for me, I was 2016. Brian and I were 1 year into marriage. And I was in my full torrid life. I was working, I think that was the last year that I worked at Torrid. Maybe it was the second.
I was always so jealous of you because your style and fashion was always like peak. And I just was like,
thank you.
Let me look at Natalie's Instagram and see what new things she has.
To be fair, I didn't own most of that. It was just new things would come in and I would be like, I have to try this on. Because I think about even then when I was working for Torrid, I was making like $16 or $17 an hour as an assistant manager. And even as a store manager, I was still making like under $20 an hour in like living in like Renton-ish. And my rent, like I was like, there's no way that I could afford to buy all of these clothes. But I was so convinced that like I was going to like take off on social media, like fashion influencer, like Torrid was going to be like, you're the one. And we want to hire you to do like all of our social media posting.
They were doing those like certain model searches, right?
Yeah. And so they would do model searches. And I was convinced that I was like, they're going to look at me and they're going to be like, we want you to do like our social media stuff. And for a while, like I was the social media person for like my store's location, RIP Factoria, because she no longer exists. But you know, like it never, I mean, I never went anywhere. And I was always, I loved to put together different things. I like to put together different outfits. And then I took a huge step back from that. Because I had like my first run in with like a troll.
No.
And it really like hurt my feelings. And so I had to restart like a lot of the things that I thought that I was like super duper confident in. And it still like kind of like, in a way, it still messes with me today, because I think about like, you know, does someone actually like want to see this type of content? Like, is this interesting to other people?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to get to a place where I'm just like, I don't really care. I'm not making this content for like other people. I'm making it for me. And I'm making it for the people in my life that like it. But I do have to say, like, when people are mean online, it's usually like they have their own problem and it's not something that like I did. But anywho, yeah. So I mean, like, I guess in a perfect world, we just became like the perfect human, because we can combine makeup and fashion so well, and just like that just works.
And I think it was also like a really great time in our lives, because it was okay that that's what we could be obsessed with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where
mm-hmm.
I think it's okay to kind of be obsessed with yourself.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like that really wasn't
I think that's called self-love.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like in my household growing up, anytime I spent too long on my hair or my makeup or whatever, like I remember like trying to explore my own style and being told, "Oh, you're being selfish, or you're being a drama queen, or you're being whatever." And I remember thinking like, "Okay, well, this isn't important then. Like, I shouldn't really like care about what I'm wearing or looking like. So maybe I'll like keep that secret." As I just spit on myself. But it's the thing of I'm an adult. I'm in my late 20s. And I have kind of my own money, not really a lot of money, but I'm able to like shop at places I want. I'm able to like look and style myself the way that I want. And it was a time where I think box stores and like physical stores and online stores lived cohesively, whereas I think now it's a little bit upside down. But that was the year that I started like loving myself and taking myself for who I am, because that's such a foreign concept, especially if you live in a larger body. And society tells us I should just hate myself. And maybe I don't want to hate myself. Maybe I want to love myself. And maybe I want to like the things that I like. And I started getting to like more nostalgia stuff and not feeling bad about not always liking everything that everybody else likes. Which, speaking of which, knowing that we were talking about 2016, the nostalgia factor of everything, I looked at the top search things from Google in 2016, really encapsulate who we are as people, of what we are Googling within a safe confinement. Some of the TV shows that were on this list.
I'm not ready.
Let's see. Let me go back over here. So on this list were things like Stranger Things, Westworld,
I don't believe it.
Luke Cage, Game of Thrones, and Black Mirror. 10 years ago.
Do you watch Stranger Things?
So I have watched the first 3 seasons, and I need to watch the rest of it. However, again, I'm one of those people that when other people are liking things, unless there's someone like, oh my God, did you watch the episode? We could kiki about it. There was no one in my life who was watching Stranger Things. And again, I was borrowing Netflix from someone. So I was, and here's also the thing, my biggest pet peeve with Stranger Things is that they took so much time in between things. 2016, so the first season came out July of 2016, and I remember the summer of 2016 because I was also in my hoe phase during 2016.
Who's hoe?
But I was taking the ferry a lot, and I was watching episodes of Stranger Things on the ferry on my iPhone 6. And then the next year in 2017, it came out. We wouldn't see another season until 2019. And then after that, we didn't see another season till 2022. So the reason why I haven't finished season 4 or started season 4 is because 2022 was really only 4 years ago.
3 years ago? Yeah. You're in no hurry.
But it's like, I'm not in a hurry here.
Okay, I will say this is my hot take, and like my Brian will not, I mean, like Brian doesn't really agree, and neither does my older and listeners may not also agree, and that's fine. I feel like the last season of Stranger Things is kind of bunk. Yeah. I know that like you haven't watched it, so I'm not trying to like say, and there was just, I mean, they led up to a lot of stuff, and then it was like such a lackluster. It's like if you've ever been,
I've seen the memes of it. I've seen people like compare it to like a Creed music video at the end.
Well, I think about it from and this is probably crass and like I don't care, but it's like, you know, when you're like texting somebody and you're like texting and you're like, oh my gosh, we're really vibing, and then like you go on a date and like you're super vibing, like everything's super good, and then you guys hook up and it's like wah wah.
Yeah,
that's what it's like.
I feel exactly what I feel like because they spent so much time, and I get it that the pandemic happened, and then this show literally ignited the careers of these kids. Like they were literally kids. I mean, even just seeing this skyrocket that Millie Bobby Brown went from being just like a nobody to being cast in so many different things, and we're watching them like go from like young teens to like now in their 20s, and we're watching them do these side projects of music and art and fashion, and they're being booked on all these things. And I get the reason why it probably took so long for the seasons to happen, but it's also difficult because we know a time when there would be a season of a show, it would be 21 to 25 episodes. Right? Something happened in 2015 where these major networks realized we can pay the same amount of money, or we could spend only 8 episodes worth and get a whole season out of it. And that'll suffice for everyone. So then they're doing these seasons of only 8 episodes.
It makes me, it's so frustrating because I feel it, and I feel the same way about any like book to movie situation, is that there's just like information that's left out. Now, I will say my caveat in like Stranger Things is that it does feel like everything is very period piece, like as a period piece, very much set in the 80s. Everything is very like true to the time. Everything is like very beautiful. But I don't really feel like we were big Stranger Things people until later. We were Game of Thrones people. We were Game of Thrones people. And I was very much in my like Doctor Who phase as well. So I watched so much Doctor Who in 2016. We watched a lot of Game of Thrones. I even like attempted to read the books. And then I said, this is not for me.
I'm surprised because those books are as, and I've tried to consume some of the information and it's like, okay, no, not for me.
I love like period pieces. I really do. Like when it's set in a very specific time frame. I love like a fantasy realm. Like I love all of that.
Right.
I cannot, for whatever reason, if there's like too many like names that are hard for me to read or lands that I don't know what they're called, like it's just, I don't know. I feel like kind of a goof like saying it, but it takes me out of like reading the story. But we very much, and I feel the same way about the ending of Game of Thrones, is that like something like that ending was trash.
It was so one of my work best friends is watching Game of Thrones right now for the first time. And that's something that I wish that I could go back, like wipe my memory and rewatch Game of Thrones, like with that intensity.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, she's on season 7, and I'm like, you are going to be so angry. You're gonna be so angry.
So angry.
And I think that they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose so that you would be mad. You know?
Yeah. Which is so like, I don't know. It's so irritating, but I digress. We could probably talk about Game of Thrones could be its own freaking episode for that matter. Did you watch like Luke Cage or Black Mirror?
So I watched Luke Cage because I had an ex.
Marvel?
Yes, I had an ex who was super into Marvel. And so
Marvel is the superior, in my opinion. If anyone was curious, I didn't watch Luke Cage. It was not for me. Marvel is superior, in my opinion, to DC, but Luke Cage was not for me. I have a hard thing with spin-offs. I like the movies. I like the comics. I don't really like spin-offs. I watched mostly Doctor Who. I was very, very consumed with Doctor Who. And then I was very disappointed when they used a past character in Doctor Who to become a new doctor. And I said, no, that's not for me. David Tennant, in my opinion, super wonderful doctor. Matt Smith, also good doctor. Here I'm just talking to myself about Doctor Who. So,
and I I don't know what's going on with my internet here.
Anywho, Luke Cage,
but
friend.
As I mentioned, I was dating this guy, and he was super into Marvel. And the only way that I could hang out with him was go to Marvel movies or watch Marvel shows. And I really loved Luke Cage, not Nick Cage. That's an actor.
Nick Cage.
What can I tell you? So also in 2016, what came out was Doctor Strange. This guy, we went to this Doctor Strange movie, and like beforehand, someone in the friend group, because we went as like a friend group, someone in the friend group made me feel bad. So I like cried, and I was like, I'm just gonna go home. I'm just gonna leave. And he like came after me, and he like was like trying to comfort me, and then he was like, you just need to get thicker skin.
No, sir.
Imagine the person you're dating is just like, get thicker skin.
No. That's why, I mean, that's what makes you realize that, like, thank God, thank whoever,
Mm-hmm.
thank whatever you believe in, the moon, the stars, the witch, who cares? Whatever you believe in, that like you didn't
Mm-hmm.
marry that person, like just go thick
Absolutely.
your skin. It's okay. Because if my partner isn't going, like, if they're not going to be like, fuck that guy and we're leaving, or like they need to go, like, then I don't want
Right.
to be with them. Like, my person should be like, hey, you don't talk to my partner that way. You don't talk to them like that.
Right.
Rude. I went on a rant
Yeah.
whilst you were like reloading, um, because I had no idea what
Yeah.
Westworld was,
Yeah, I don't either.
but it has one of my favorite actresses in it, Evan Rachel Wood.
Oh,
I absolutely love
things I
her.
didn't know. What is the show
But
about? I just thought it was about like post apocalyptic things or something.
it's so I googled it because I have no idea. And it said Westworld isn't your typical amusement park intended for rich vacationers. The futuristic park, which is looked after by robotic hosts, quote unquote, allows its visitors to live out their fantasies through artificial consciousness. No matter how illicit the fantasy may be, there are no consequences for the park's guests, allowing for any wish to be indulged. Westworld is based on the 1973 Michael Crichton movie of the same name and features an all-star cast. But it has like a pretty good cast in it. Like Ed Harris is in it, James Marsden's in it, Anthony Hopkins is in it. Um I've truly never watched it. But I mean,
I would
it
watch
seems like
that.
it. Yeah, they're okay. So like I said, Evan Rachel Wood is in it. If you're like not familiar with her as an actress, for our listeners, like she, like for me, the most recent thing that I know that she played was, uh, this is how you know where I am in my life. And like Anna and Elsa's mom in Frozen 2. Uh, we listen to her singing almost every day. Not
Hmm.
almost, we do every day. And then
Hmm.
her favorite role that she ever played was in Across the Universe,
It's my favorite.
which that's one of my favorite movies. I absolutely love it. Um, so maybe that's just a show that I'll need to check out. Did you watch like Black Mirror at all?
Someone once told me the premise, and I said, "That's real life. I don't need to."
I watched a couple of episodes and it freaked me out, and I said, no thanks.
Like,
Yeah,
and I
no
think
thanks.
also this must be the time when, like, shows were just kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
just.
There was, I will say, okay, so I will say that there was a Black Mirror episode that I really liked. But it was also just very interesting. But it was based on, and it was before like VR had become a
Mm,
thing.
mm-hmm.
It was like right at the beginning when VR was being introduced, but it wasn't like what it is now, like with Meta and all of that. But the premise of like the episode was two best friends went into VR to like essentially play like Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Um and but not like Mortal Kombat, it was like some other thing. And they like fell in love with each other and they were having a relationship, and it was two men that like fell in love and they were having a relationship with each other. But like both of them were married or had like their own thing going on, and they only uh spent time together like that inside of the game. And then they kind of, I think one became obsessed with, and the other one was like, I think we need to stop this. It was a very interesting like concept to think of, that like parasocial relationship that's like
Mm-hmm.
outside of like what your real life is. um So that was one that I was like, oh, this one's not bad. But then there was like one with Miley Cyrus. There was a whole other, like, there's just some like
Miley
crazy.
Cyrus?
Yeah. She played like an idol
Oh.
where she played like a pop star who had like a robot that was themed after her. And then it was like, she had to put on like this fake persona. It was very much like, the more that you watch the show, the more it's like, oh god, that is pretty much just real life. But what other kind of, yeah, Black Mirror is a weird one. It was really hard. It was a hard watch for me. I know that there were a lot of people that were like diehard fans, but when I watch TV that like, I like to watch TV that I know that isn't like real life, because real life kind of sucks all the time. And so I want to consume something that like, I think that's why I watch so much anime.
Oh, well,
I consume that.
2016, I think, was a very solid year. I mean, if we want to talk about musicians,
Yeah.
the most searched musicians were Celine Dion.
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure what Celine Dion did in 2016, but maybe that was
I'll Google it.
pivotal.
Let me Google.
I'm not sure.
Let me Google.
But Kesha was on this list. Michael Bublé, Creed was having a resurgence. There is
But
a
why? Oh, because she received the Icon Award at the Billboard Music Awards.
Oh.
She had a summer tour in 2016. What else? She released new music, like a French album.
Apparently, one of the number one songs that people were listening to was My Heart Will Go On.
Oh, God. Did I ever tell you that I learned how to play that on the clarinet?
I was about to say, I played that at the 4th grade talent competition on the piano. But I remember being so, I don't know, nervous, excited, played it so fast that it was just, and I'm playing it so fast, and then I like messed up, and I remember messing up, and because also cannot regulate my emotions, I hit the piano at the competition, froze because I realized everyone can see me, and then I just laughed.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because I didn't know how to regulate my emotions, didn't know how to process, like, I messed up live. What do I do? But
what
Teyana
else
Taylor, Kehlani.
I don't know who that is.
Let's see.
The
best part about these Google Trends is that they'll tell you what was happening, and what people were searching.
That's crazy. I think about some of my favorite. Like, why is this so old? Like, some of my favorite, like, K-pop songs came out in 2016, and I'm like, no. Then I'm like, how is this how's been so long? Do you remember I'm just gonna jumping around. Do you remember all the drama and nonsense that came when it was announced that the Olympics would be in Rio? And they were like, they can't be in Brazil. It's so disgusting in Brazil.
Yeah. Very racist of people. Are you an Olympics person?
I am. I love a summer Olympics. I love summer Olympics, and then winter I like ice skating. And that's about it.
Yeah. So I love Summer Olympics. I've had my Summer Olympics, 96 Olympics Barbie over here. And I remember like the big thing of it's been 20 years since the 96 Olympics. And like they had a whole bunch of like the 96 Olympics like corresponders. And it was very nostalgic for me seeing people that I watched as a literal child be contributors in that way, especially with gymnastics, because I love gymnastics and swimming.
I love gymnastics.
Saw my crush, Michael Phelps, in the Olympics.
Oh, daddy.
And he secured 23 career gold medals. Not just any kind of medals, gold medals.
Gold medals. I had such a crush on Michael Phelps. I still think about like how he would warm up, and you remember he would like slap his, like he would swing his arms around and slap his like shoulders from arm to arm. And I was like, oh my God, that man.
So large. So fantastic to watch. I mean, he was miles upon other people, doing laps to people. Just a generational athlete himself. Do you remember when he got caught smoking weed
out of a bong? Yeah,
out of a bong. Oh my God.
And everyone was like, oh no, blood. And I was just like, he's smoking weed. Like, are we serious? Is he smoking like out of a crack pipe? Like, is he doing heroin? Like, no, he's smoking some weed. Like, let that Olympic medalist be.
And they were worried that he would lose all of those endorsements.
The craziness is though. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the crazy part is I'm not a fool. Like, I know that they're all doing whatever they're doing, smoking weed, drinking, partying. Like, they have to be. Get your face away, madam.
No, I was mentioning Flyana Boss, which is a duo. Oh no. Is a duo, a rap duo. And
there's also Ryan Lodkey, by the way. Ryan Lodkey's not my vibe. No hate on him, just not for me. I was always more of a Phelps guy, girl, Phelps fan.
Flyana Boss had a song, and it says, "I be Michael Phelps, all the brand deals that I'm swimming in. You can call me Dr. Evil because I got many men. I be Michael Phelps with all the brands I be swimming in."
Too.
I know that he had Under Armour, Speedo. There was a Visa.
Oh fuck!
One of the hotels. Oh, I guess he has his own swimwear line now. Aquasphere, which is a brand of goggles. Under Armour, Master Spas, which, okay, I've never heard of that. Speedo, Omega, Visa, Subway. He was in a Subway commercial. Hilton, and Head and Shoulders. So yeah, there was at one point where he was in like everyone's something.
Yeah.
Of somewhere, you know?
Hewlett and Packard.
Isn't that like copy paper?
Right. I don't know. I know.
I wish we could.
Michael Phelps
could go on and on. Do we want to mention movies and then round out this circle? Movies, okay. We've already mentioned some Marvel movies, but it's when like Deadpool came out. Did you go to the movies a lot in 2016?
No, I didn't. I didn't, we didn't really go to movies a lot because Brian worked a ton in 2016. And I was working retail. So like our schedules never lined up. So I saw Deadpool when it came out.
Yeah.
We like rented it or whatever. Like same with Suicide Squad. I didn't see that until it came out on like Netflix or whatever platform that it came out on. To this I don't think I've never seen The Revenant. So like sorry Leo, for your like your Oscar win. Never seen
He
it.
got an
No
Oscar
clue.
win. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time.
But I love Marvel films, so I mean,
Mhm.
I still feel like this Suicide Squad film was kind of a letdown, but I love it because it's so campy and ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the Suicide Squad movie really catapulted like Marvel and DC as like viable competing brands for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And well, in our generation, because I don't think that DC Comics were, because Superman was like a thing of the past. We did have like some
Mm-hmm.
shows based on
Mm-hmm.
Superman, but they were so like here, and like Marvel like jumped off, with
Yeah.
the Iron Man movies,
Avengers, Iron Man,
Avengers.
Avengers, all of that. I feel like they tried to revamp DC into
Mm-hmm.
something, and they were doing all of like the Batman films, like the what's his name? Anyways, the Christian Bale. When Christian Bale
Yeah.
was redoing the
I
Batman
forgot.
movies,
Oh yeah, with the Dark Knight.
Ugh. Ugh. I really liked those.
Heath Ledger.
I
Oh,
I loved those with Heath Ledger. I absolutely love it. But the thing with Suicide Squad is that I loved Jared Leto as
yeah.
the Joker. And I wish that they dove more into that and like kind of I love Jared Leto as an actor. He's a nuts. But like when you're raised in a cult, like it just kind of happens that way. Um but I think that like I loved him as the Joker. I feel like he fit really well. And then um I wish that that was more of a thing. Um but did you go to a lot of movies in 2016?
Yeah, that was like my escape, because I was also
Mhm.
homeless in 2016.
Yeah. Okay.
So
It's a
it
great
was
place
like,
to stay.
yeah.
Popcorn and shelter.
When you're working like a shitty office job for $11 an hour and
Yeah.
couch surfing and sleeping in your car in the Walmart parking
Mhm.
lot, there was really nothing that was like more escapism from your life, especially when you're, because this is also the time that I was like cold turkey from doing snow and
Yeah.
other things, right?
Yeah.
And so how else was I going to spend my money to escape, because I don't have anywhere really to go.
Yeah.
And I would just go to the movie theater, and that was fun. I loved going to the movie theater. And it was during that time that, I really kind of figured out a lot of things about myself. So when I finally got a place and was roommating with my friend Alana, that I was like, I posted a picture over on my Instagram of like, this was my 2016, and I put a picture of someone goes, this looks really sad, and it was just a bed on the floor. My side table was Amazon box, I guess.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I just have like my laptop in there and like a duffel bag on the floor because I don't have anything. I didn't have
Yeah.
anything. And just having a roof over my head and paying, I think I was paying like $550 for a room.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed. And going back to that is like, that was such simpler times, and I was struggling, but just the little luxury of like just going to a fucking movie. Like I
Yeah.
can justify spending $10 on a movie ticket back when it was like $10,
$10. $10 a person. I do love going to the movies. I love going to the movies. I love getting a little popcorn, a little Slurpee, a little icy, and then just being able to like check out. And that's something that like I wish that we I mean, I would like to do that more often, but I find that like movies lately have just been kind of about like not very good. Trash. Because I feel like
I
all it is
agree.
just like remaking the same stuff over and over again. But
I
yeah.
agree. Well, do we want to jump into our Ask a Millennial section? If there is anything about this conversation about 2016 that you relate to or you want to enter in the conversation, put it down in the comments down below. We love hearing from you. We heard a lot from people who have never watched our show last time. So if you watch our show and you want to contribute to the conversation, now would be the time, because we really want to flood these comments with positive things and things that are part of the conversation. So we love you. We're so grateful for you for watching the show. But let's jump into the Ask a Millennial section, shall we?
Yes, let's jump.
Do you want to read the first one?
Yeah, I can read the first one.
Okay.
Cool. And this may be a hot take, and I am going to say it before I read this. Just because I live in a fat body does not exclude the fact that I'm allowed to have an opinion on anything. Food.
Especially
music,
pizza.
and pizza. There's so much better pizza out in this world. We don't have to settle. I can have an opinion about pizza crust.
Agreed.
There, Bucko.
Bucko.
I didn't lose any sleep over that, by the way. I was just annoyed and I wanted to say something.
I just remembered just now, so
I don't care. I care about good, delicious food. All right.
Amen.
Let me read this. So it says, am I overreacting about my relationship? Hi, I'm Kay. I'm a 39-year-old female, and my boyfriend is a 36-year-old male, and we've been together since the end of 2016. We have two girls, and we are engaged. But the last year or so, he has been so horrible to me. I sat writing this crying. Oh, that's kind of sad. Because he has just been shouting at me again, and I know he hates me because he tells me when we argue. He tells me when we argue, he is so nasty to me, and I know there are two sides to every story, but I really don't do anything to him. I do all the cooking, all the cleaning, washing, everything. I don't ask him for a penny. I've tried to make him leave, but he refuses. He smashed my headphones the other day. He always breaks my stuff, and I was just asleep, and he woke me up to have a go at me, and all I can think of is why. What have I done to deserve this? He has no one else but me. Not one person in his family bothers with him, so I feel sorry for him. He knows I've always been too loyal to him, and he thinks I'll never leave because I've always took him back. I think he doesn't want me. I think he doesn't want me, but he doesn't want anyone else to have me. Oh no. I'm really just upset because I honestly don't do anything to deserve this, and every day I just don't want to be here anymore. So I've come here for some advice off of my Reddit family. What should I do? Get out.
Yeah, leave. That's an abusive. So I wanted to include this because I did search 2016 and I was like, oh, okay, this has the most like interactions. And it's obviously because they started dating then. But knowing that like this was posted 4 months ago, so not even just like a full 10 years of being with a person, and you're already going, hey, I don't want to exist here because of this person.
Yep.
And I know that it's hard to get out, but I really love that the first comment on here is, here's a bunch of resources. Yep. Here are a bunch of ways to get out of this situation. And that's what I love about communities like ours, communities like specific communities on Reddit, is that there is a multitude of assistance when you ask for help.
Yep.
They're always
for
going to be
me,
trolls. But yeah.
there's always going to be terrible people that just want to be terrible, and that's their own fault. But for this situation, I know when there are children involved that it can be very complicated. And especially this sounds very much like a very abusive relationship and like
Yeah.
a narcissistic relationship where the things that are probably being said, and I don't want to like make up words, but I can only imagine that this person is probably saying like, you're terrible, nobody likes you, nobody will love you the way that I love you. And that's manipulative, and that's terrible, and that's awful. But I would think about it from a perspective as a mother, like I would never want my children to see that.
Same.
Like I would never want I wouldn't even want my cats to see that. Like,
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
if we're not in a situation where we're showing love and laughter and joy into like the eyes of our children, then like what the fuck are we doing here? Like this situation, I really hope that this poster has gotten help and is able to like break away. And to say like his family wants nothing to do with him, that's a big red flag.
Right.
Huge red flag. Because if your family wants nothing to do with you, there's a difference. And I will put a caveat in this, that there's a difference between like going no contact with your family as a person because they are like, they're just not providing, it's just not good. It's not a healthy space. But if his family has like, we don't want anything from him, like clearly there's something. So I hope that she's able to get some help.
Me too.
And then there's a terrible comment in here that says, you're engaged to this jerk. It's no wonder he treats you like he does. You're acting like a doormat. That's literally victim shaming.
What the hell?
What the hell, man?
And here's the thing. Like, I do believe that, like, hey, people should really like evaluate who they are spending their time with. You know what I mean? Like if I want to spend time with like a jerk, a narcissistic jerk, I'm going to hang out with people who are narcissistic jerks, and then I'll probably find someone who wants to date me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
Birds of a feather, you know, kind of thing. And you can be blinded to a lot of things, and they can seem one way and then turn on a dime. I would never victim shame a person because I know narcissists because I related to them. And one minute they can seem completely different, and then something flips, and it's like I don't even recognize this person. This was a mask that you were pretending for so long. And now what do I do? You know?
Yeah. That was always something as I was growing up. Because there's a certain person in my life that is an absolute narcissist. And we would talk to like people, like acquaintances that we knew, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I just saw them at the store, and they're just the happy, oh my gosh, they're just so charming and so lovely. And then that person would come home and be like, why didn't you do this? Why did you do this? Like, you're never going to make it. You're so stupid, blah, 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 blah. And then it would just be like, oh my God, like, who is that? I don't know who that person,
right. I don't know who
they're
that
talking
is.
about. I don't know who that person is. I only know this person. And to be very honest, like trying to unpack that in my own life has been very hard. And then to have like, people try to explain it as that person is just so sensitive, and you know they just feel that everyone is going to make fun of them if they act a different way, and it's like no, no, that's not how this is going to play. But anyways,
that's not real.
I really hope that person gets help, because that's really sad, and I can't even imagine.
I do too. And if you're dealing with that, there are resources in that Reddit story. I would take a look at that if you're going through something, or you know someone going through that situation, because there's probably like 8 links over here of different situations of what to do. So, all right, the next one is, am I the asshole for sticking my freshly single mom with $20,000 worth of debt?
Okay. Let's hear it.
I, 19 male, have been paying off a car loan from my mom, 40 female, since I turned 16. She gifted me a new 2022 current year Nissan Sentra for my birthday. I foolishly never asked how much she signed for, because I assumed that her finance Sonata. I think it's Sonata, but they put Sentra. Oh wait, Nissan Sentra.
Yeah, Sinatra. Nissan Sentra. Sonata is Kia. Jesus.
I'm not a car person. I don't know. I assume that her financially knowledgeable boyfriend at the time would know what he was doing at the dealership. He did not. The original MSRP of my car capped at around $20,000. Out of the door, they walked with a $40,000 car loan. They put down nothing and had a 10% interest rate because my mom's credit was bad and she has no job. But even accounting that math never made sense to me. The payments every month were $510. I didn't care because the original deal was that me and my mom's boyfriend would split the monthly note. That lasted for all of 3 months until I was stuck paying the entire thing at 19. Jeez.
Oh, no.
And have been since that day. About a year ago, I went to the bank with my mom to try to transfer the loan from her name to mine. But since the interest would be recalculated, it would add about $10,000 more to the loan. We both agreed to not do it. I moved out at 18 and live with a roommate, but bills have been even tighter. My girlfriend's mom suggested that I look for a new car that's more in budget, and I found a used 2025 Corolla with 10,000 miles for $18,000. A better car for cheaper than what I would be paying off of my current car. I told my mom that I was planning to get a new car, and if she wanted to sell my current car, it would be her decision, and she lost her shit, saying how it's my responsibility and that it was a gift for me, and how she saved me 10 grand by not transferring the loan. The biggest elephant is that she's freshly divorced and looking for a job to support her 2 younger girls. I told her she can sell the car for about 14 to 15K, but she refuses and is demanding that I drain my savings to pay for a car that I never agreed to pay for, and ultimately was their terrible financial decision. On one hand, I don't feel like I owe her anything and never truly got along with my mom, so it is what it is. On the other hand, I feel guilty for kicking her while she's down. Looking for unbiased opinions. Thank you. So is he the asshole?
No, not at all. Is the car? He's a child. Is the car? But my question is the car in her name or in his? So like, if it's in
her name,
if it's in her name, then he just needs to take it back to her house, give her the keys, and walk away. Like, that's not his. It's not his burden to bear.
I just want to know why does the mom not have a job? If the mom is gonna, if the mom's gonna be divorced and like no longer being supported, why?
I'm giving you the car back, Mom. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Sorry about the divorce. But yeah, a lot of people are saying like, good luck.
Yeah. I mean,
Mom,
I agree with this
in the driveway.
Yeah, happy birthday. This is the one that I agree with. It says as long as your name is not on the car loan or the title, it's not your car. It's her car and her boyfriend's if he's on the loan and the title, which makes it her obligation and that he's not the asshole. And this guy says, "Nope, the car is not tied to me at all aside from my insurance that lapses tomorrow and it being in my driveway." And like I agree, if this car is a burden on him and he's still only, I mean, if he's a child, I mean, if he's 19 or even 20 for that matter, and he's been like having to make payments on this,
right,
that's not his. I mean, if he's been using it and obviously like if he's got insurance, like he's handling not only his insurance, but he's also paying this full car payment. He shouldn't have to bear that burden. And her not having a job and like her being divorced is not, again, not his.
It's not his thing.
It's not his burden to bury or burden to carry. Like that's her burden.
This happens a lot in like, unfortunately, in these situations where the 18-year-old bears the weight of their parents' debt because they owe them, right, for everything that they've sacrificed. And it just puts the kid off and on a bad note to continue the cycle of bad debt, bad credit, probably, into other stuff. You know what I mean? Like how do you make those car payments? How do you make a bunch of money really fast? And I've seen it because it's happened in my own family that you're literally setting up a child to take on all of this debt that they didn't ask for. And I know that being an adult is really difficult, but we shouldn't just be throwing them out to society and going, I didn't work for 18 years. Now it's your turn. You should be prepping them like financial readiness. Don't make these mistakes that I made, so that when they turn 18, they can really start on a fresh note of, let's look at all the papers together. Let's make this decision together. Like, what do you want to carry? Like, let's be financially smart, but also still protect them because they are still children, right? Yeah. Their frontal lobe doesn't fully develop till 25. I made so many bad financial decisions at 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
21. 37.
Okay. I remember 37. I remember that like just as like a story that's sort of related to this, but kind of not, is that like my mom was trying to teach me financial readiness. So she was like, we'll get you this credit card. And it had like a low balance on it, whatever. It was like an introductory credit card for like, and I was like, cool. And she was like, use it for like small purchases and then you pay it off at the end of every month. And I remember that I was working in the mall at the time and I would use it to buy like lunch. And so I would buy lunch like every, on my shift or whatever. And I think at the end of the month, like the first month that I had it, the total was like $25 that I owed. It was like $25 or $30 was my like credit card statement, right? And I remember that my dad would open my mail and he was like, why did you spend this money on this credit card? That's for emergencies only. And I was like, oh, mom told me to use it for X, Y, or Z, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you're not supposed to use this. And he took my credit card away and then hid it. What is that teaching for financial, like, what is that teaching financial wellness for? That's literally just like restricting someone from knowing like how to properly manage
how to work it.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree. I think that as parents or as adults, like we need to be teaching this next generation how to properly manage their money. They need to properly manage on how to like pay their bills and stuff, because if not, then you're just going to be stuck with a bunch of people that are like willy-nilly Like, did you, I don't know if you saw the video. There was like a girl and she was like, oh my gosh, I got this credit card. I can just spend it up, blah, 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 blah. She spent like all this money and then got the bill at the end of the month and was like, what is this? Or was using like Apple. There was someone that was using like Apple Pay and they were like, oh, Apple just gave me a bunch of money. Like I could just blah, 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 blah. And then was like, where did all my other money go? And they didn't realize that their Apple wallet was tied to their like bank account and was like, yeah, right. Come now.
Oh God. Well, some get it and some don't. I still don't think I get it, but here I am.
I try. We're just trying.
Living at my means. Not going on vacations. But
we're trying.
Yeah,
we're trying.
I spend my weekends with you.
Same. I spend my weekends with you. You know, I have to say that even talking to other people who I feel like really have it together, I don't think that anybody actually has it together. And the people that I know that are going on vacations, most of the ones that are like me that have kids are having their families pay for it. They're not paying. So don't feel bad. I think everybody is just
don't feel bad
bullshitting their way through life at this point. They're just living in their own Westworld.
Well, Natalie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok, both at Natalie Christina. We're getting ready to start posting I'm getting ready to start posting my gardening content because this year I told myself I was going to start doing more content, and it's about to be gardening season here in the PNW. Woo! What about you?
You can find me anywhere there's social media _queer auntie. I announced on the Collins on the Rocks podcast on Friday that I have another show.
Yay!
So I am spending my weekends with y'all, but I have a new live show. It is a wrestling and Bravo and sports recap, a weekly recap show called Coast to Coast with my friend JPJ. He literally lives in Boston, and what separates Seattle and Boston is I-90, which goes from
I-90
coast to coast.
I love that. How creative are you? I love that.
That's over at Fightful Overbooked, which is going to be Sunday morning. So my Sundays are really going to be spent prepping this show, recording this show, and recording that show. And that's really how I want to spend my Sundays. So it's the church of self-care and podcasts now. So I'm excited, but yeah. Well, what a week. What a week.
What a week. What a world. What a world.
And if I haven't said if I haven't said it enough on both of our social media, fuck ICE. Protect ICE. Your community. Fuck Donald Trump. And just really protect yourself, y'all.
Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your neighbors, for that matter. All of our neighbors, because our world would not be what it is without immigrants. Let's just be honest. Love your immigrant neighbors.
I really hope that this show was like a little reprieve from that, because my brain has
this weekend was fucking rough.
It's been rough. So I hope that it was a small reprieve for you. We love you so much. Make good choices. See you next time.
We love you.